Alright, so we got Shops versus Grixis Pyromancer, and obviously anything can happen, but I want to say that the Grixis Pyromancer is not not super tuned for a Shops matchup. I would bet on Charles here if I had to bet, but luckily I don't have to. Justin has not a he's got a sideboard plan, but it's not a ton of cards. All right, we're ready to go. Let's fix this match record.
It's not gonna happen because you say it. That seems great. How long have you been playing Justin forever? Since I'm playing, it's not too long.
Some of our stream viewers really like that playmat, that Card Titan Crucible playmat. I think it looks cool. The other one looks cool too. I don't know what the I think it might be unique art. I don't know if it's for a card or not. All right, Justin versus Charles. Let's fix this. Oh, that's not his name. All right, I finished it before they resolved mulligans. I'm sorry for all the shuffling, guys. You know, vintage players, they love their shuffling. So does Aggro Workshops versus Grixis Pyromancer.
He was like, well, when you get more advanced, there's this list, and you can't use as many single cards. And I was like, oh, I don't like that sound fun. And then, like, the magic, like, falling up thing happened a little bit, where everything was just, like, whatever, and you just, like, use all these cards. And I was like, oh, I guess I won't play this. And then, like, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, I was like, I don't know, maybe I should, I was like, I just want to find this card showing up again. And then I was like, oh,
We do not have a player profile, unfortunately, for Charles. But we'll quickly throw up the Justin Waller profile again. Justin Waller, unknown sandwich punch status, first place in Team Series Open Warren, second place in Team Series Invitational 3, which I think was the most recent one. There might have been 4. State champion of the Quiz Bowl, and he can put both feet behind his head, which is very weird. But it's what he can do. Alright, so he's got a force, a land and 2 lands and a mox and a dag. That's a pretty reasonable hand there. Though maybe not the greatest hand against Shops. Certainly not bad. Looks like Charles only has some decent cards, but only 2 mana. So it's a decision for Charles. I do not know what I would do right now. Yeah, mulligan seems reasonable. I could also see keeping that and playing the Thorn turn 1. But workshop decks tend to mulligan quite well, better than your average deck. So I cannot, and I think the best workshop players tend to mulligan a lot. So I can't argue with that decision. I did not get a handle on who is going first, unfortunately. I'm gonna asking who the other top 4 match is, just in case. Get some information about how things are shaken up, what the finals might look like. All right, so Justin's on 7 and Charles is going to 6. He's got a workshop and spells. I can't imagine he will mulligan this one. Seems pretty good, actually. It's a solid hand. Yep, he's got a Ravager and a Thorn and mana. But some of that mana is wasteland, so it's like half gas. Turn 1 therapy. Interesting decision here. I did not hear what he named. Did not hear what he named. Interesting decision. Turn 1 against workshops. What do you name? I would probably name Lodestone Golem. But I don't know what he named. So that's a miss on the Cabal Therapy. I don't know what he named, but he missed on it. I expect a turn 1 Thorn plus Ravager, though you could play Tangle Wire instead. Both defensible, but I'm expecting he's going to play the Thorn and the Ravager. Tangle Wire, okay. Like I said, probably fine too. It's got forced anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Though I guess he could follow up with something else if he had played the Thorn Ravager. Tangle Wire was not necessarily a bad call. If he had played Tangle Wire on his next turn, he can still play Thorn or Ravager by playing the Mox Wasteland. So it all seems pretty reasonable. Justin, as we all know, plays his cards upside down, which is not great on stream. But I'm sure you guys can figure out what's going on. He's playing the Grixis Pyromancer deck. The first time I ever saw that was Rich Shea. I don't know if he completely innovated that, but from my perspective, he was the first one who was playing that deck. And I think it's a pretty good deck in a field of blue decks. Pyromancer plus Cabal Therapy is really good, but a lot of those advantages are not quite so strong against workshops. So we'll see how he fares today. Dak Faden, on the other hand, is quite good against workshops. It's better when you steal something right away before Charles knows that it's there and plays an appropriate answer. But still very threatening to have out there. So Charles has the Ravager in hand, and Ravager, I think, first came to popularity probably about a year ago when Dak Faden started getting really popular. Ravager it's been legal in Vintage for a long time, but it was never really good until Dak Faden got popular. A Ravager versus a Dak Faden means if they try to steal something, you can sack it in response, which is pretty good. You can still use the Dak Faden to target kill things. Dak Faden's still very good, but Ravager is a nice card that's very flexible and makes Dak Faden not as good as it would be. So play the Thorn. Wasteland, not bad. And Revoker naming Dak Faden. Even better than Ravager is Revoker. I did not see the Revoker there, but it makes total sense. Revoking a Dak Faden is solid. Playing the Dak Faden was probably still correct. You can't... Dak Faden's better if your opponent doesn't know, but like Charles might have played Revoker naming Dak Faden even if he didn't know that Justin had it, because it's Dak Faden's such a blowout that you want to play answers to it. Oh, this is very aggressive. Charles is all right, sacking his board to kill the Dak Fayden right now. Very aggressive, but it could pay off. It dealt 4 to him. That means that even if he has an answer to the Revoker, the Dak Fayden will not come online. I would love to have life totals here, but I don't. I think everyone's at 20 right now, but or like 18, 19, like high life totals. But it will matter pretty soon. All right. Don't know what Justin has in hand, but with only 2 mana out and 2 Thorns in play, I'm going to guess that Charles wins this game. I'm going to pull up his deck right now. He's not running any main deck. Hurkyl's Recalls. So I don't think there's really anything that Justin can draw that really would blow out the game right now. A 3 mana Cabal Therapy is not that wonderful. Even if Justin hits both of the cards in Charles' hand, it's not really going to help him too much. Named Ravager. He missed Lotus Academy, so Lotus Academy are not particularly threatening right now. But, yeah, waste is... I can't think of anything. Yep, Justin scooping up makes sense to me. Not a lot that Justin can do right now. All right. So I'll pull up the sideboards. I think that Grixis Pyromancers with Cabal Therapies and Jace's is a very good choice against a field of blue decks, but not so hot when you run into the Workshops deck. But we'll see. Justin has, obviously he's going to bring in Shattering Spree, Hurkyl's Recall, 3 Ingot Chewer. That he's probably just bringing those cards in. Electrickery does kill Revoker, but probably not worth running. Charles, on the other hand, has a lot of options. Duplicate, Wormcoil are both pretty good against like a Resolved Pyromancer. And Crucible is pretty flexible against a lot of decks. Witchbane Orb is probably not worth running. It would shut off Cabal Therapies. It shuts off the 1 Hurkyl's. If Charles thinks that Justin has a bunch of Hurkyl's, then Witchbane would be correct. But in general, I'm guessing that the duplicate Wormcoil engine is all he needs. But really, with Workshops, it's sort of... Your sideboarding plan is pretty... You know, it's how you play the deck, right? If Charles is a very aggressive player, he'll go with duplicate Wormcoil engines. But if he wants to like sit back and play a bunch of Spheres and just shut off a plan for a Hurkyl's, then maybe he'll go with Witchbane and Crucible. It's tough to tell. They're both definitely defensible. In the stream, someone's asking why aggro shops versus adding more sphere effects, and you could. There were decks before that ran all the spheres, and you couldn't run more spheres after you cut Chalice. But I think most people have sort of moved to aggressive shops decks because the field is wide open. I mean, again, I'm editorializing here. I don't know why Charles picked the deck he did, but the aggro shops decks have been doing a little better now. I think one reason is that the field is wide open, so it's better to have an aggressive game plan, whether that's combo or aggro, than to play like metagamey cards that you might not get paired against the deck that those metagaming cards are good against. But the aggro shop decks have been doing well for a number of players right now.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
You saw Dwayne last round playing the most aggressive shop decks that exist. Tiny Robots.
For sure. I
Runs a bunch of cranial platings. It's basically vintage affinity. Charles is playing a more traditional list, but still more aggressive than older lists. And I think people are rewarded for doing that right now. I think it's been performing pretty well.
Your Power Rangers and it trades with everything. Like fuel blocks.
Though I have heard a rumor, as my co-host, my previous co-host Evan told me earlier, that a lot of the aggro workshop decks are based on Webb's VSL event, and apparently he thought he was running Spheres of Resistance, but didn't register them by accident and added Metalworkers instead. So there's a chance that everything is just an accident right now, and people should have extra Spheres. But I think that the aggressive shop decks are pretty well positioned right now.
Of the actual metagame. Now I'd say it's like, what do you think the percentage results like are? If Storm's putting up like actual percentage it costs them. I don't know. Steve Goldfish is 20%, 20%. Yes, I never know. Okay. Maybe higher also. It's like over like the last 5 years, it's been like 4 or 5%. Max goes up like 13% and stuff. I didn't need mine, yeah.
All right. So we're underway. Gataxian Probe stalls Charles' hand. We'll see what Justin follows that up with. Gataxian Probe Therapy, not a bad start. It might be silly to say, but not gonna lie, going first against workshops is pretty important. Therapy is a card with a lot of variable value against workshop stacks. If you do what Justin just did with Gataxian Probe Cabal Therapy turn 1, it is very good against workshops. If you draw it later on in the game, or you don't know what they have because they have a wide variety of cards, it is significantly worse. But Justin was on the play. He knocked out Charles' turn 1 play. It was not the worst use. Turn 1, Sword of Fire Ice. Sword of Fire Ice is a beating if Charles draws a creature, but it does not look like he has one right now. He is running, if I pull up his deck, he is running Mishra's Factory, which is a scary thing because there's nothing Justin can do about it. He can't counter it. Just plays Mishra's Factory, equips it with a sword, and swings, but I don't think he has it now, and he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, so he would need more mana to pull that off.
Not yet. There will be one day, I'm sure.
Island go. I think Charles just drew a Chalice. Yep, Chalice of the Void at 1. Recently restricted. Pretty good against the Delver deck in general. I have not seen Waller's hand, so I don't know if it if it's dead or it just beats him. That's the way Chalice works. Sometimes it's worthless. Sometimes it totally ruins the game. But it was probably not a bad card to draw here in a vacuum.
Play a land, drop your Chalice for 1, brainstorm away your one casting costs, and just not here. Sure.
Cannot tell what what Justin drew or what he put it back. We have a Chalice. So looking quickly at Justin's deck, he does have 3 Ingot Chewers, a Hercules, a Shattering Spree. All of his anti-shops cards get around Chalice pretty well. But if he doesn't have those cards, if he just has a bunch of cantrips, he is in trouble. Playing a Pyromancer, right now I would say that's pretty good for him. Sometimes Pyromancer against shops is too little too late, but right now Charles does not have any threats. He's taking a lot of damage from Ancient Tombs. That Pyromancer could do a lot of damage. Charles cutting him off for a turn with that Tangle Wire. Next turn, Charles will tap 3 permanents that still work when they're tapped, so he'll be totally free, and he cuts off Justin's entire turn. But it did cost him 4 life to do it, so it might still not work out for him. All right, so Bolt on upkeep in response to that Tangle Wire. Get extra permanents, extra damage, seems fine. You can save a Bolt for a creature, but obviously Charles doesn't have one. He would have played one already. So the Bolt there seems totally fine. He gets the extra permanent for Tangle Wire. So this turn he can't do anything, but next turn, because he played Bolt and Mock Sapphire, he's going to have a lot of permanents. Oh, the Bolt, he bolted his opponent, but it got countered by the Chalice. I totally missed that. That's even better, right? There's no reason to save onto the Bolt. He just wants the permanent to tap to the Tangle Wire. Makes perfect sense to me. Treasure Cruise, not bad. Not a bad card to draw right there. Ancestral would have been bad. Treasure Cruise is great. Makes you realize why Treasure Cruise was correctly restricted the first time. They didn't figure out and take through time quite so fast, but they're probably both correct restrictions. So Charles taps down Sword, Chalice, Tangle Wire. None of those, all those still work when they're tapped. So no drawback there. But the double Ancient Tomb draw is probably hurting him right now. Looks like he passed right back. Did he? Yeah, passed right back. So Justin taps all his creatures to get extra mana. Oh, he had the Daka the whole time. That must be why. Ooh, he steals those Sword and Fire Eyes. That is a beating. Next turn, he's going to be able to attack with that sword equipped. It does not look good for Charles here. Yeah, just scooping it up. Makes sense to me. Charles was not dead that turn, but he was probably not going to recover from that.
Sometimes you live the dream of therapy. Those probes are pretty good. You want to play sword? I want to play sword. Yeah, I don't know. It was like just a little bit weird that like I kind of figured like you had one attack there, so I don't know like I could play a sword. just a situation where, like, we have sort of attached to it's going to end up, like, having to sit there and block, and it's going to get in front of multiple guys. I don't know. Asking Thorn is still probably correct there, but it's going to be close.
All right.
It's only slightly better than City of Traders. What? Barely. City of Traders literally explodes.
We're going to game 3. Workshops is going to be on the play. I have a feeling that this game is going to come down to opening hands. We will see.
Is he in the pool? I sure hope not, or he's dead. Sauna? I think we'll focus real quick. The way I always look at City of Traders is that it isn't a land. It's a dark ritual that sometimes sticks around. It's a dark ritual that kind of might stick around if you get lucky. That's the good way. Yeah, but it's a land. It's worse than dark. It is something that's still pretty good. Yeah, I know there was changes I wanted to make for this, and I was like, okay, you want to do this, and let's. Actually, kind of like rolling change but like I also feel like he like flipped it. Like he played it a bunch of times. Like he played it in the deck, I should say, and he never actually cast it. Like it just sat in his hand every game, didn't do it. Well, this was not that, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yourself. No, I mean like just like that same, like that art thing. I think if you have black, I think the Vermont concentration would be good in one of those situations.
All right, deck lists are presented.
It just finds like it finds force, it finds gold, it finds like guy, like it finds everything you want. But yeah, it's like he played it like most of the game. He just sat in his hand and just didn't do it. I couldn't figure out. And then when he did decon, it seemed like he deconned for one of them. Like he deconned for like Moes, and it was like he couldn't just kill yourself. So it seems really bad in a deck full of 4-ups that all do things.
I really hope these stream viewers can hear the players chatting, because if they can't, then it's just a bunch of dead air.
I was just skeptical of this whole thing.
They're discussing
That's why he scrubbed out.
various strategies. All right, so let's look at these hands. There's a Workshop in Charles' hand and a Thorn. Already seems keepable. Turn 1 Sphere is great. Looks like a Wasteland and a Revoker. Can't get a great handle on it, but it looks like a keepable hand. Definitely a. All right, Workshop, Jet, Mistress Factory, Thorn, Revoker. I think seems solid. Did not see Justin's hand at all. It's not a Lodestone Golem. Oh, not bad. So it's a valid question. Do I play Lodestone first or anything else? If he does not have a force, then Lodestone first is way better. If he does, then obviously you wanna bait it. With Thorn, I think you can. I think you can play turn 1 Thorn and then Revoker and Naming. Probably Lotus, maybe Dakfade. That's a tough call. Also, turn 1 Lotus is not necessarily as good as turn 1 Thorn if Justin has Moxes in his hand. Turn 1 Lodestone. Sometimes people can beat that with lots of Moxes, but as Charles knows, Justin does not have a lot of Moxes in his deck. He did not have the Force, so turn 1 Lodestone was the right play in retrospect. Definitely correct if he didn't have a Force. Charles is playing his cards behind his lands, and Justin plays his cards upside down. It must be confusing for you guys. Must be pretty confusing. All right. Oh, no. That is quite good. That is the exact scenario in which playing Thorn of Amethyst would have been right and Lodestone would have been wrong. That is serious. The game could come down to that. We'll see what happens, of course. Charles still has plenty of good spells in his hand, but that is an amazing turn 1 play from Justin. I didn't see his hand, so we didn't know that was coming. That is, if he had played the Thorn instead, he would have had nothing to steal and couldn't have played the Dakfade anyway. I really liked, having not seen Justin's hand, I really liked Charles's hand. If I was Charles, I would have assumed that I was the favorite to win this game, but turn 1 Dak, that's tough to beat. There is a reason that Black Lotus is not only restricted, but obviously considered the most iconic card in the history of Magic the Gathering. It does stupid shit. Like let you play a 3-drop on turn 1 through an effect that makes it more expensive. Alright, so he shuts off the Dak Faden with the Revoker, but it might be too little too late. We will see. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin just wins with a 5-3, but really anything's possible here. Factory holds off the Lodestone. Justin can attack this turn, but next turn the Factory can block and kill it. And if he loses his Dak Faden, it might actually be fine for Charles. So really, any number of things could happen right now. Not knowing what's in Justin's hand, I don't have a handle on whether he can, whether he has any business besides the Lodestone. I ain't got Chewer. That is a good one. Yeah, Justin forgot his own lock pieces because Justin does have a lock piece right now. I think he's chewing the Revoker to turn back on his Dak, but I'm not totally clear. If he does that, he can't attack with a Lodestone. Oh, he is attacking with a Lodestone. Okay, so he's just being super aggressive. He's attacking with a Lodestone. It means that his Dak is going to die. Oh, he could have +1 the Dak. I don't know if that was a mistake or he might have 1 card in his hand that's very good. No, 2 cards. If his hand's really good, maybe he didn't want to +1 it, but I think it might have been a miss on his part. To be fair, as you all know, our players right now are probably more drunk than I am. Ooh, that is rough. That game just very quickly went from Justin being pretty far ahead to Charles being firmly ahead. That was a hell of a turn. Charles killed the Dak with the Mishra's Factory and killed the Triskelion. Killed the Lodestone with the Triskelion. That was a great play right there. Great draw, great play.
That's how vintage goes. I don't play if I don't play hard. I only play hard.
But we still don't know what's in Justin's hand. He does have a lot. Charles has a lock piece out, which makes Justin a lot less likely to win. But we don't know what's in Justin's hand. It could be anything. You know, Time Walks and Ancestrals, they exist. Crazy cards. He could have something. Apparently, something very exciting is going on off camera. I don't know what it is, guys. I know that there is a side tournament featuring a Star Wars themed cube. I really wish that I was there and not just commentating, but I'm not, so I do not know what's going on right now. Wasteland is very good here. Wasteland is just gonna nail in the coffin. It just does the Gush, so he saves his land. It's not bad, but he's still down 2 lands against a Thorn of Amethyst. It's not looking great. I don't know life totals. Looks like Justin's at 16, which is still pretty high. He's got lots of turns to draw outs. But my guess is that he's pretty far away from the kind of outs he would need. He would need some way to kill his lock piece and some broken spells to pull itself out of this. Justin does have Hercules in his deck, which is very important, and 3 Ingot Chewers and a Shattering Spree. All very good cards right now, but he may need more than one. A Shattering Spree could kill the Trike, which isn't doing much, and the Thorn. He would also need some other threats to follow it up with. Tangle Wire, pretty good when you're just attacking for a few damage and your opponent has less than 4 permanents. It's basically 2 time walks for Charles right there. Justin has the Force of Will for the double time walk. Has to tap a mana to do it. I mean, Charles is definitely the favorite right now, but Justin could... There's lots of plays. I mean, Justin, just a single young Pyromancer could go all the way. It's not like Charles is putting a lot of pressure on the board. Chewer to kill the Thorn. All right, now Justin can cantrip to his heart's content. Ancestral, not bad. All right. Depending on what he draws right now, this could be very good for him. Really, I don't have I can't see Justin's hand. This really could go either way. Ravager Triskelion, very important. It kind of doubles the damage he can deal at any time. I feel like Justin doesn't have a counter. Charles with no cards in his hand, Justin probably would have forced Ravager if he could have. Just, you know, for the tempo. I really wish we had life totals right now. I do not have them. This is pretty tense. This could really go either way. There's no lock pieces in play. Justin is free to cast any spell he has, but he needs to have something because he is being attacked every turn and he needs to handle the board. Pyromancer would be pretty great for him right now. What else? He only has 4 Pyromancer and 2 Jace as his only creatures, and Jace is not what he needs. So Pyromancer is kind of the card he's looking for. Dak Faden, of course, would also be good. He has more of those. Just one more, but a Dak Faden... Well, Ravager is good against Dak Faden. I'm really not sure what the life totals are. If Justin's very low life, there's nothing he can do. But if he still has a medium amount, he's got plenty of outs left. Going into the tank.
Actually, like, I understand, like, the cards removed and, like, proximity cards removed them, but, like, why can't you put lands in front of creatures? The creatures, like, clearly get turned sideways underneath the lands to attack me. It's just interesting. I guess I enjoy consistency.
Alright, tapping 3. Yalmas Will. Alright. At least he has Ancestral. Oh, there's a Lotus in there. Lotus is pretty significant. He can cast 2 Ingot Chewers. I did not see that one coming, but it is definitely good. We'll see what he does with that. He could Chewer the Ravager away, and then Chewer the Triskelion away. Very decent.
You get to choose a card out of the binder. I like that he's
Is this? I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know if this is a door prize. What is going on right now? I have no idea what is going on screen with this binder, but it looks like he's Ingot Chewering. I'm gonna guess he's targeting the Ravager. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, that makes sense to me. It looks like Charles just won a door prize. Yeah, guys, you gotta figure this out, Charles. Can't pay attention to that door prize.
Justin, you won! Justin, you won! So you're voting you have 2 red mana You get to choose a card out of the binder! The whole binder? The whole binder! You don't get the whole binder, you get to pick 1 card out of the binder. Foil Necro Buttons.
They must be foil proxies, right?
I said that's all.
I don't know. I gotta figure out.
The idea is unbound. Yeah, there is an idea is unbound. What's the least foil? That's not foil. Probably something that's not so expensive. The surgical extraction is super metal. Check out the surgical.
Team Series Invitational. As said before, it's the greatest show in Magic. The Magic is not the highest priority here.
Card is pretty strong.
Card! There is a foil Necro. There is not a foil dual land, which I saw.
Sorry. Well, our little viewers, we I won! So the response to me, you got Chewer trigger.
Yeah, so he's gonna sack a bunch of stuff to the Ravager, and then Justin's gonna be able to kill the Trike, which he's gonna put stuff on as well. If Charles had a mana up, he could put stuff on the factory instead, but he doesn't, so that doesn't work. So it's just gonna be 2 damage to Justin, which I don't know life totals, but I'm assuming that's not a big deal. It really could be, actually. I don't know. I don't know life totals right now. But Yogwell was a pretty brutal draw right there. He's gonna get to kill the Trike and Ancestral and Gush. He's gonna draw a lot of cards this turn. We're gonna listen to this when he if he hits the Trike, so no life totals. I heard the number 7. I think Justin might be at 7, which is that's high enough against a factory for me to like Justin right here. Yep. So apparently those were door prizes. Everybody gets a card. Gushing there. He's got a red and a blue floating. Don't know what he has in hand, but red and blue floating with Ancestral in the yard, not the worst. I can't see any of these cards. Sorry, guys. I do not know what he has. It's really interesting because if his hand is bad, he is definitely losing this game. If his hand is good, he's definitely winning. And there's a lot of cards in there, so I do not know where this is going to go. I am at a loss. I think that's a Baby Jace he just played. Yep, it's a creature and it's not a Pyromancer, so it's a Baby Jace. Okay, he played the Baby Jace over the Ancestral. I'm sure he has a reason for that. Tanglewire, interestingly... Oh, Charles does not have enough mana to activate the factory. I missed that before. He cannot attack with the factory. That's really important. Tanglewire is not going to tap this Jace down because he's going to make it a Planeswalker right now. And Tanglewire does not tap Planeswalkers. It also doesn't tap enchantments, in case you're curious. Flipped Jace. And he definitely has land in hand because oh, the strip mine. Yep, this is starting to look pretty good for Justin. Turns out Yawgmoth's Will is an amazing card, and if I were to say that 4 or 5 years ago, everyone would make fun of me for bothering to say it. But Yawgmoth's Will is not as popular as it used to be. Not every deck runs it, and Justin's did. And that really paid off for him this game. One of the most ridiculous cards ever printed, for sure. So we know he has lands in hand. We know he has the ability to flashback Ancestral if he wants to. He might have better plays. I don't know. Charles went from being in a commanding lead to falling behind. This is a pretty good game right here. Yep, he gets the Ancestral, draws 3 more. Charles has no lock pieces right now, so if he draws any Moxes, he can just run them out there. I think Justin's deciding what cards he wants to discard at him turn. He has so many cards in hand. Discards a couple of cards there. Chalice 1, good against the deck in general, not so good right now. The cards Justin needs are Young Pyromancer. Mostly he's looking for a Young Pyromancer right now. Chalice does not stop that. Justin's just trying to draw a threat before Charles draws one. Justin's have so many cards in hand, he probably will, but you never know. Metalworker could get there. Actually, Jace could hold off Metalworker forever, and it might, in fact, have to do that. Justin just resolved the Brainstorm through a Chalice for 1. I don't know if that's a brilliant play on Justin's part, or that he's just drunk and didn't realize the Chalice for 1 should have countered the Brainstorm. I'm sure both players are drinking right now. All right.
I don't care how he plays this card. He plays the ball. That's all that matters.
Apparently everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to swim. I would try it once, see if I could pull it off.
Yeah.
And then
We're just assuming that we're shortcutting the
It's true. Yeah, I don't know which whether Justin Waller just mind tricked the crap out of Charles, or whether he has no idea what's going on. It could be both. Time walk, just ramping up that chase.
I was clapping at first, and then I decided that everybody's getting door prizes, and I stopped clapping. I think. Actually, just shows I want to foil over such an original stuff. All my two monsters,
Cannot see what's in Justin's hand, but he's got a lot of cards. Team Serious Open, the only tournament where the everyone's drinking, so the average place goes down every round. The finals, maybe the least well-played game of the tournament when we get to it, if everyone has been drinking every round. But it is also totally possible that Justin just ran it into the chalice, expecting Charles to miss it, which would be amazing. Justin just ramping up that Jace, keeping his Metal Worker from yielding up damage. I don't know what Justin's life total is, but I know it's very low. I think 7, which isn't that low, but it's it means any creature that Charles plays is a threat. 4, okay, yeah, it is pretty low. Three mana. Steals the Metal Worker. Not bad. I don't know how he didn't... Did he not tap Lance Tangle Wire on his Time Walk turn? I think I missed some permanents there. Yeah, this is with the resolved Dak Faden. Even if Charles draws a Revoker to stop the Dak Faden, probably not going to be good enough. Justin looking very good this game, even though Charles was looking very good earlier. Oh, he gushed. He had more permanents out. Okay, that makes sense. Killing that chalice, so now he can play those 1-drops. Not that the chalice stopped him before. Things looking real good for Justin. Charles does still have cards in his deck that would be very relevant here. Because he has all the mana in the world, he can cast wherever he wants to. Triskelion would be pretty solid here, killing the Dak, leaving a body that's bigger than his Metal Worker behind. Trike is maybe the best card he could draw right now. Alright, so Revoker on Dak, not bad. If you were to follow this up with, say, a Sword of Fire Ice, it could still be a game, but the chances are low, and Justin has a lot of cards in hand, including a Bolt, to kill the Revoker whenever he wants to. Or deal 3 to Charles. I'm not sure what you did. Shattering Spree. That's some kind of honking on stream right now. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Shattering Spree. That's gotta be the end there right now. We'll go with a complete once that Tangle Wire dies on his upkeep, he's got a completely empty board. No lock pieces, no threats. And now it is too late for Triskelion to kill the Dak Faden. I mean, he can kill the Dak Faden, but then it's just a 1/1 body behind, which is not enough. If he's passing, then that's yeah, that's gonna be it. Now gets one more counter in Dak Faden. There's really nothing Charles can do at this point. So he missed on the first Cabal Therapy, but he hit on the second one, as you tend to do. Charles with no cards in hand. Justin with a stacked board. Not looking good for Charles.
I'm just like so paranoid to mess this up.
Bottom this down. But he did remember to censor himself.
Yeah.
I did not. Time delay. That's the new feature next year.
And that's it. Justin Waller wins 2-1 over Charles Rocco.
I don't think I wanted to, but I did for your ass.
Shortly. I wasn't sure if there was like anything you wanted to do with that game, like at that time, but like I thought like.
We're going to move to finals pretty soon. I don't know who won, but I know that the other top 4 match was Nam Tran versus Jake Hilty.
I mean, that's possible.
So that was Shops versus Painter.
I don't know if you had Will yet or not, so. I think we're gonna. Like, if you had Will, I figured, like, we didn't, no matter what, we could shoot his cards in, like, worst case scenario. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yep, the other round is done, so we're going to move right into it.
Yeah, I mean, I just never had a way to get there. Like, it was close, though. You never really need. I liked how Justin brainstormed so hard and made it through jail. Yeah. Nice.
All right, I think we're in a very brief interview, but the other round is done, so we'll be going into finals quite shortly.
Next turn, just play brainstorm. Like, no biggie. I thought he shattered.
Yeah,
Maybe. It's possible. I thought he shattered Stormy first. He didn't shoot it or shattered.
So Nam Tren, who we saw earlier, playing an aggro shops deck, almost the same exact deck as Charles, is going into the finals. So I think we're going to see actually the exact same.
Am I playing somebody else?
You're playing the winner else. If you haven't eaten yet.
I did.
Okay, I was gonna make sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the
Oh yeah, this is the semis. Jesus. I swear only 2 beers.
Nam and Jacob next in the interview.
That's not fair. You need to drink more.
Yeah, he's not gonna grab me one, I mean.
Nam and Jacob next. I feel like this should be the finals, so I think it might be Justin versus Nam Tren, which is playing a very similar deck to Charles in the finals.
Hello.
Oh, you think like
Hey, how's it going?
We're Justin's collecting his stuff, and we're gonna have a quick interview with Justin, and then Nam and Jake are gonna play their top.
Like what I would have done is I would have slow rolled the hand. I would have played my 1 mana.
Oh, they didn't play their top 4 already?
No, they haven't played yet.
Oh, so we want it all. Okay, so they're the top 4. So we will see.
Yeah, both top 4 matches in the finals.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was a long top 8 match, so they just finished.
Fair enough. We get to see more matches tonight. Not a bad thing.
It's hard hearing you right now because
It seems very exciting over there. How's the?
Had door prizes. It was probably the greatest thing we've ever done.
It's true. Door prizes, and then one drops through Chalice, and then it was an exciting.
We noticed that too.
Exciting stream events. We don't know like which of them is the genius, right?
Chalice might be restricted, but it's not a cure-all.
I was just grabbing the one that was easiest. Yeah.
Justin?
Watch out for them.
Oh no!
I'm live for the brass band.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
Good yourself, Andy?
It's going good. So I just saw you beat the crap out of workshops right there. That was pleasant.
Yeah, and I'm sure it came across as being slow playing, but I was just super nervous. So I don't want to offend any of the viewers or Charles.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, the last game, I felt like it really looked like Charles was ahead for the first third to half of the game. It looked like, oh, he's clearly going to win. Justin has no cards, and Charles has a bunch of lock pieces out, but you got there. It turned around really fast in a short period of turns.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, Andy. Hey.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. What did you sideboard against workshops? What's your plan?
Against the workshops, I sent in the Hercules Recall, the 4 Jewelers, and then I had 1 Shattering Spree.
Mm-hmm. What do you like taking out against them?
And that one, it was just kind of like a grab bag. I took all the missteps. Like, if he brought in cages against, like my Jace shenanigans, and that was really only Jace and the Pyromancer, or the Therapy.
Yeah.
I was fine with that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Those 4, and I believe I took out a Jackson Probe. Just didn't feel very good.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you? I know you haven't played this deck very long, but how do you feel? You might play against a similar deck in the finals. So how do you feel about the matchup? Do you think it's a good matchup? Do you think it?
I don't know which version. If Nam's on the big shop or like the big shop or like big dudes, I'm probably more concerned. I don't know. I feel relatively good about it. Like, I've got good sideboard cards, and I may drop game 1, but I should have 2 and 3 easy.
Yeah, shots fired.
Right?
Oh shit! Well, we don't know. It could be his opponent in the finals. Awesome. Okay. We went over your deck already. Is there anything now that you're going into the finals? Is there anything you would have built differently? I mean, obviously you did very well, so maybe not. But any cards underperform, overperform?
No, I mean, everything feels pretty good throughout the whole entire deck. I know in the sideboard, I probably would have cut a cage for a mountain.
Okay.
And Stagger Shop has been like Carton's playing Red, White, Blue Bomberman. I just liked it a lot. And I probably would have put one of those in, expecting to see some of the mentor decks. But that was what the only changes. The ball therapy has been like hands down the all-star for this room.
Awesome. How often do you get a relevant card with therapy if you don't have a probe? I know I miss a lot.
I'm like probably 30-60, so not that good.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's come up like so few times. Like,
Yeah.
if not probe, then I mean just therapy with a Pyromancer to like cast the free therapy.
Yeah, you missed the first time, but you're definitely getting something. You're definitely getting the best card in their hand. Yeah, not bad. All right. Okay, well, we'll see you in the final soon. I guess the other match is setting up now.
Yeah, I think they should be good to go.
Okay, I will switch over. Good talking to you, and good luck in the finals.